Hey everybody, it's Jeff, Aromatics, continuing on with my The Brand series, where we discuss a particular tobacco brand or tobacco company and just talk about like what are the first things you think of when you hear of that company, what defines them, what would be their flagship blend, some of their popular tobaccos, as well as I like to finish off the video doing my top 5 tobaccos from that particular brand or company. And today we will be doing Cornell and Diehl. So what are the first things I think of when I think of Cornell and Diehl? Well, I think of mostly a modern American company. It reminds me of a modern American. It's not like, from like an old school type of, although they do have like it's pipes, right? So they do have like an old school mentality. But as far as, the comparatively, I would say they're more of like in a modern American type of tobacco company with that kind of mentality, with maybe a slight sort of Starbucks, what would you call it? Starbucks style hipster edge to them. That's how I kind of look at them as far as what I think of the company itself. Now, when I think of their tobaccos in particularly, I think of tobaccos that are more on the raw side, not raw as in not fermented, but not highly cased tobaccos, usually very stout type of leaf. Probably like a lot of their stuff is probably like higher stock. It's not most of their stuff's not really a mild type of tobacco, like say the Carter Halls and things all day kind of smokes, although they do have that kind of thing. I think overall they have more stout, more raw, more I don't want to say harsh. I think some people might find some of their tobaccos harsh overall, but just strong, full, stout, raw type tobacco. As far as variety, I would say they probably have one of the biggest selections of any brand out there. And they pretty much, as far as typical tobaccos go, like the most used tobaccos, I would say they have pretty much something for everybody. They've got Virginias, they've got Burleys, they've got English blends that run the gamut of like from mild to strong. They've got unique condiment type blends where all it is like mostly Perique or mostly dark fired or mostly Perique and dark fired. Lots of variety when it comes to the mainstream popular blends of tobacco. So one complaint that some people might have when it comes to Cornell and Diehl is they just might find some of their tobaccos a little bit too tobacco forward. Now, there's, like I said, there's still something for everybody pretty much out, I think, from them. But for the most part, a lot of their stuff, even their aromatics, are pretty tobacco forward. And some people that just like the old school kind of codgery type of blends, like Carter Hall and that, might not find a lot of their portfolio super appealing to them. But that's one thing that I do appreciate about them. So what is their flagship blend? When you think of Cornell and Diehl, what is that one blend that defines them? Well, I don't think this blend defines them because it's an aromatic, but from what I know, it's their best seller, and that is Autumn Evening, which is a maple red Virginia where they bake the maple right in there. And one thing I've always wondered, if it's such a great way to do their aromatics, why haven't they ever tried to use that same technique with other flavors? I'd like to ask Jeremy Reeves that if I ever get a chance, why they never tried that technique, or if they have tried that technique and it just didn't work well for them, or what. But why don't they just use that baking technique for all of their blends, not just Autumn Evening? I do know that it is pretty costly or time consuming to do that method. But I think the number one tobacco that I think, there's so many of them, but I think the one that defines them would probably be Haunted Bookshop. Now, that might not even be because of the tobacco itself or them. It could possibly, I think it's more due to Matches860, the YouTuber who used to praise it and smoke it all the time. I think that's why it's really probably the most well-known of the Cornell and Diehl tobaccos. So what do you think is their flagship blend, or what should be their flagship blend? Put that down in the bucket below. I'd be interested in what you think. And we'll continue on with my top 5 Cornell and Diehl tobaccos. So in no particular order, I guess. At least I won't start off in any particular order. I'll name off my 5 tobaccos, although there's so many of them, and I wouldn't want to just stick with 5 because I like so many of their blends and I smoke so many of them. But let's start off with what I'm smoking right now, and that would be Habana Daydream. And I'm smoking it in my gigantic cob here. I haven't smoked this one in a long time, but it's great for this blend because there's so much different, there's so much variety in it that you can get it all at once. So this is a cigar leaf blend. It has pretty much everything in it. It's got some Virginia, some mostly Virginia forward, but I think it's got a little bit of burley maybe. It's got some Perique. It's got some cigar leaf, and maybe a little bit of Black Cavendish in there as well. So it's just one of those. I don't smoke it as much as I used to because I think when I first started smoking it, I found it very tobacco forward and strong. And now since I've been smoking a lot of stronger tobaccos, it doesn't really have that strength. I find it more mild than it used to be. I don't pick up the flavors quite like I did when I first started smoking. But still, it just has that. When I don't know what to smoke, it fits. It does everything. It has that, Virginia Perique kind of thing. It's got a little bit of an English type of tobacco-y taste to it. A little bit of cigar because I like my cigars. So it's just kind of got everything in there, and it's got a nostalgic feel to it as well that I like. So number 4 would be Bayou Night. So Bayou Night is just another great blend that I can smoke anytime, especially when I'm not tasting stuff or because sometimes I go through phases where my palate's kind of weak and I want something that I can really taste. And Bayou Night does it. It's like 50% Perique, but it's so well done that although it's Perique forward, it still has a good tobacco taste to it besides that Perique. Different than, say, the Beast, which is 51% Perique, and that has other tobaccos in it, but you pretty much just taste the Perique. But I think that's what Jeremy Reeves was going for. But as far as a really strong Perique blend and just a full flavored, it's kind of got a bit of a cigar-y taste to it. It's spicy. I really like that. So Bayou Night. So number 3 would be Poplar Camp. That's probably one of my favorite vapors. It's just got a good mix of red Virginias, bright Virginias, and then it's got some toasted Virginias in there as well, and then it's got a nice helping of Perique. So you get a good variety of flavors going in and out. It has everything I want in a Virginia Perique with a good strong hit of spice, but not always. It kind of comes in and out, but great vapor I personally like. Might be a little bit strong and edgy for some people, but that's what I like. And then the last 2 I have, I'll start off with, say, number 2, and that would be Carolina Red Flake, the small batch, but 2019 and before, back when they had that first batch of tobacco that they ran out of and could never get it back again. I like it. It's just a great red Virginia that it doesn't just taste tangy. It's also got some earthy flavors, a little bit of a cigar-y type of thing to it. It just is very got a lot of variety to it, lots of complexity to me, and lots of flavor. Just a great red Virginia, although it is pretty high in nicotine. Sometimes that one actually hits me pretty good. That one's tied. I usually go back and forth between that and Opening Night, but I had to pick one of them, so I picked the Carolina Red Flake. And then last but not least, number 1, I'm not saying it's necessarily my number 1, it probably is though, is their number 1 bestseller, and that is Autumn Evening. I just love maple, and it's done so well. It really has that full flavor of maple in there. It also has a great tobacco taste. You can really get those red Virginias. It's got the best of both worlds, which is what I like about a tobacco. I like to get a good aromatic taste, and I also like to get that tobacco taste, and they did a great job putting those 2 together. So those would be my top 5. What would your top 5 be? Let me know in the bucket below. And just, answer some of these. What do you think of Cornell and Diehl when you first think of it? Do you agree with my assessment? Kind of an American, modern American company with a little bit of a hipster vibe to it, sort of like Starbucks coffee, that kind of a thing. Would you agree with that, or would you say, something different? I'd like to know. And okay, so I'll leave the video at that, and I'll see you guys in my next one. So till then, Aromatics, signing out.